I am super excited because I have finished 2 sketchbooks from my Create Your Own Sketchbook for Drawing on the Go class, and I have really loved working in these. This is a fabulous size sketchbook for just throwing in my bag, and I just working in it in pen or pencil or whatever art materials I happen to have on hand. These ones have all been done in ink, so I wanted to give you a quick tour of what is inside them. So they are made using drawing or mixed media paper. And then the cover was done. I finished off both covers. Nope. The cover was done using recycled cardboard from old cracker boxes or cereal boxes, fruit snack boxes. We go through a lot of boxes, and it's a great material because it's sturdy enough to be a nice cover, but it's lightweight. And then I covered it with some decorative paper. So this sketchbook was the summer of 2023. This sketchbook I started in the winter. So a lot of it documents the travels that we had during those seasons. And let's take a look at what's inside. So, this started in spring break. Spring break 2023. We were traveling to visit family, and I spent a lot of time in the car. It's a long drive. It takes us a whole day to get there. But I spent a lot of time in the car documenting things, from packing the suitcase to the different road signs that we saw along the way. And then, the view from the car, snacks that we got along the way. We tend to stop and get some Tim Hortons donut holes when we stop at a certain gas station for a restroom break. We crossed the Mackinac Bridge, so there's a toll to pay. So I documented a rough sketch of the bridge as well as the dollars, just different things that capture moments on this journey. And then in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, there's different signs up there than down closer to where we live. So it's really fun to capture the essence of a location based on the signage that you see in that location, even if it's just, the speed limit or the types of foods that they're advertising or services that are offered. And then Lake Michigan and US 2. So just different aspects. This was, I think, this was still in the UP, kind of, covering the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, covering different aspects of the trip through the road signs. And then once we got up there, we were spending a lot of time relaxing at my parents' house, spending time with family. So it just, I was really captured by everyone had their feet up and their socks out and about. So it was just kind of a fun way to do it. So instead of drawing the people, I decided to draw their feet and their socks, which I don't even think they know I did this, but I could still remember whose feet were whose, and it brings back those moments by drawing them. So my dad's spot hanging out, my coffee cup on the couch edge, the views from my parents' house, the fort that my kids and the cousins made while we were there, Christmas presents. We also celebrate my husband's birthday around this time of year. So just different things, different adventures that we had, even as mundane as the back of a semi-truck, which when you go on long road trips, you're going to end up behind some vehicles along the way. Different aspects of nature that we saw. We ended up behind a taxi, which is kind of unusual for where we live. Smokestacks and bridges, different towns that we visited as we passed on our travels, and different iconography that represents those places. Then that was the end of spring break. So then I kept using my sketchbook for different things, such as documenting an ideal lunch. This, I think, was part of a sketchbook school draw with me activity that we did one of the Thursdays that spring. And then I really enjoyed that. So I kept drawing food. And this is using colored pencil and ink. And then, some ones that I did get a chance to do colors to, and then even capturing the oops and just embracing the fact that this became a very wonky cupcake that I decided to just move on from. And then just capturing the mundane. This is waiting in the parking lot at my son's school, which was funny because the car ended up very misproportioned, but looks pretty adorable. A partial drawing while hanging out at the playground with my kiddos. Just different little stuff along the way. Some sketches get finished, some don't, and that's totally fine. I also use this as a place to do some of my Skillshhare classes that I was taking as a student. So this is my friend Ridhy's Zentangle colored pencil gem class, which was really fun. I've got, pieces that I finished all the way, ones that I didn't get a chance to finish yet, ones that I, again started, other ones that I finished fully. It's been a really great fun place to play, capturing different textures, picnic lunch at a park. Again, lots of playground time when you're a mom to young kiddos or a parent to young kiddos. So playgrounds made for great drawing opportunities, as well as different spring activities that we had. We ended up going to a couple sporting events, so capturing that. I think this was a football game. I'm not sure, but it was a lot of fun to draw along the way. So again, parking lots, great place to sit and draw. And then my husband's a musician, so I ended this book with a drawing of a performance by the Blue Cats, where we enjoyed some jazz that evening. So that was this sketchbook. Then I made several sketchbooks so that I could keep going. So this one documents the summer of 2023. So lots of driving again. This size is fabulous for the car, and it's not precious. Like, it's just a place for me to have fun and to capture what I see, draw what I feel like. It wouldn't have had to have been observational drawing, but it was fun to use it as a way to document the adventures. So embracing the bumpy road with the bumpy lines, more different, images that I saw along the way and highways that we drove on. And we took a couple different trips this summer to different states, and we passed through states on the way to other states. So it was fun to kind of capture different aspects of that. We visited the National Air Force Museum. So lots of quick sketches there of the planes in between chasing kiddos and keeping them from damaging any displays. And then we had a couple other fun adventures along the way, enjoying some kilwins and the lilacs that were blooming this time of year. More highway sketches. This is crossing a bridge on the way headed north in the Midwest. My son got injured while we were on vacation this summer, so we ended up spending a couple hours. He's fine. He cut his hand, but we ended up spending a couple hours late at night in the emergency room. So while we were there, to help settle my worried parent mind, I got out my sketchbook and started drawing, and one of the drawings was him sleeping on the bed, waiting to be taken care of. And then on to better adventures, getting ice cream and donuts, the stages of eating a donut, which is funny because I haven't, this is the first time that I documented the process of, the food as it changes as you eat it. But I can very clearly recall this morning what donut it was, what the kids were doing, where we were. So drawing your life really brings those memories to life when you look back through your sketchbook. So if you haven't tried this before, I highly recommend it. So some wonky pictures of my kiddos eating cake pops when we were waiting for my husband to run in a store, traveling in the car, I went to the Upper Peninsula Michigan History Conference. So I decided to do some drawing while I was there of the auditorium. This is a view of, hard to tell if that's a lake or if that's a sky and the hill, but it was a lot of fun to do. Oh, more history conference stuff. It's a great opportunity. Conferences or anywhere where you're sitting is a great opportunity to do some observational drawing or quick sketches of people. So I enjoyed drawing some of the folks at the conference from different views while we listened to the amazing presentations. And drawing the road while you're traveling seems a little strange because the car is moving, but you can still capture the essence of it by, some quick observations and some fast sketches. So that was one of the things that I really loved doing this summer, was drawing the road. And then just different other things along the way, like my own foot. Sitting at parades is another opportunity to do some observational drawing of people. We saw some fun things like a cruise ship, and we were on my dad's old sailboat, and we visited a car museum. We also had the normal weekly things like swimming lessons and going to the library to play. And my people, for some reason, in this sketchbook are extremely wonky. I have never drawn people like this before, but people in motion were the ones that ended up being really wonky. And I really like it. I don't know. There's something totally bizarre and strange about it, but it was really fun to let go of any expectations and just see what happened and embrace the wonky. And I had to rent a car, and I stood in line for a long time for that. So I whipped out my sketchbook and started drawing that. And then swim lessons again, more car travels. This time I had brought some art supplies with me, so I decided I had a long time. So after I captured the view of the rear view mirror or the side mirrors, I decided to add some color to this one, which was really fun. And we took a boat tour. So I captured some sketches there while we were riding on the boat of the captain and the view out the window and the other passengers. And these were the cliffs that we were doing the tour to go see. So the pictured rocks in Lake Superior in Michigan. The kayakers, these are kayakers down on the ground. We also did a mining tour in Iron Mountain, which was really fun because I had done this as a small kid. So it was really fun to go back and bring our kids to do it. And this one I couldn't sketch while we were on the tour for safety reasons. So these were done from photos that I took from the tour. And then after the fact, when we were back relaxing at the house, I had a chance to go back through my photos and sketch a couple of us waiting to go into the tour and then on the train going into the mine. So it was really fun. We visited, we got ice cream at a spot that has some live cows. So this was my first time in a while drawing live animal. So tricky, but enjoyable and a great experience. And they had some old cars there that the kids get to climb in and play on, which is fun. We also visited, we went to a museum and that had some, some exhibits on some Ice Age creatures, I think it was around that time. So I did some sketches of the different displays that they had. And then we finished it off with some quick penguins at our local zoo. So it has been so fun to work in these sketchbooks. I have another one that I'm currently working my way through, and I jump around to so many different sketchbooks, but it was really fun to finish these two. And I was excited that I was going to be able to film sharing them with you. So if you are curious about making your own miniature sketchbook for drawing on the go, be sure to check the description below for a link to my class on Skillshhare. You can get a free month of Skillshare by using that link when you sign up. And the great thing about Skillshare recently is that they have dropped their annual price, or they are dropping it soon, which is wonderful. And they've returned back to the option of having an annual subscription or a monthly subscription. So be sure to check out that link if you're curious about how I created these sketchbooks and anything else that I share, as well as all the other amazing things happening on Skillshare. And get in touch if you have any questions or you'd like more information about drawing on the go or creating your own sketchbooks or anything. Till next time.